2025, we do. I'll show you. It's really easy.
Because
It's more
maybe
now.
minutes, I could see them get up there, and here's the kid, this is the student when you were sitting here.
Akil, we record to the cloud, yeah?
Same
Thank you.
thing. Like she's just taking us one step higher.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I started recording to the cloud.
Okay.
And we must finish by before 8:30. That was what I was told by the auditor.
Oh,
So we came down straight from the chair.
yeah, okay, that's me. What's the fish now? That's my.
No.
So we want to do the minutes of November and then December?
Yeah, go ahead. At this point, I'm in a whole new world.
All right.
So what?
31st century.
Can we close the door? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of November? You want a second?
Second.
Okay, if you take a look at the minutes of December. There minute, any motion to approve the minutes of December?
No.
Or do you have any additions to make?
I didn't even see them, so.
All right, so we're-
Well, that's good. Okay. Well, how come? Must be me. Must be. Oh.
Hi, Joyce.
Yes.
How you on?
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Oh, yes, Ewan, yes, we have to add you. I saw your email. Thank you for coming.
Okay, all
Also,
right.
Presentation. She
All
sent
right.
it to both of us.
It's an announcement more than a presentation because we're still working out the details, but I'm happy to share what I know with you all. Thank you.
No problem. All right, is there a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Anyone second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All right, it's done. Over to you, please.
I'm so thrown off from where I was.
You were up to the introduction of members.
Yes.
That was a good thing that I wanted to do.
Okay.
Not get-
So let's do it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Right. All right. Well, Joyce, your name starts with A, start with Joyce.
What do you want me to do?
What I wanted everybody to do, is I don't personally know everybody, and most of you besides this gentleman don't know me, she barely know me.
Okay, so you want
And
to,
so that you should know who I am, what I was about, why I got on the board, what I'm interested, so we all know what the interests are in each other.
Good, 2 minutes.
Okay, go.
A minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Go.
my name is Joyce Adovia, as you all know. I am the president of the 30th Precinct Community Council. I'm also the president of New York African Chorus Ensemble. Part of our programs that we do is the New York City Multi Festival, and I'll talk about that later. As you all know, I am the co-chair of economic development at Harlem Piers. I used to be, for several years, I was the chair of Arts and Culture Committee. What else do I do? I am a correspondent for Harlem Arts Alliance. Geez. I'm also the cultural ambassador for Nigerian Consulate, as if I don't have enough work already.
Right, keep going, Joyce.
So there's some other stuff, but that's in short is who I am. I'm originally from Nigeria. I've been here over 50 years. Oh, I'm dating myself. So I will tell more when I talk about the New York City Multicultural Festival. But I love cultures, I love learning about different cultures, and my favorite pastime is going all over New York City to look and learn about the various cultural communities that we have, the cultural enclaves that we have here in New York City. Sometimes they look at me like I'm crazy because I'm the only Black one there, but then I tell them who I am, and I love to tell them, I wanna taste your food, I'm buying it, you don't have to give it to me for free. I'm buying it, tell me about it, and that's it. So then they open up. Yeah.
Give me a happy to see you.
Right. And they're happy to see me. I'm buying ingredients too much. Yeah.
Are we going around?
Okay, so I'm Rita Dunn. I am, fortunately, one of the oldest members on the board. Currently, I was chair of the board in 1991, 81, somewhere back there. Okay, my particular interest was the West Harlem Piers, the economic thing of the West Harlem Piers. They were horrible and down in the water. So between the West Harlem Piers and the, what's this place at 145th Street?
The business district?
No, Grant, what's the?
Grant, the Manhattanville
Manhattan,
houses?
no, on the water.
Oh, the pier?
No,
West Harlem,
145th.
140?
The transfer station?
145th is Riverside Drive.
The sanitation system,
What does it say?
Riverbank State Park.
Riverbank,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Riverbank State Park, I was really very involved in the Riverbank State Park because of that, the gentleman's name was on that had nothing to do with it. The person that had to do with it was at the time the mayor of New York City. And they were going to put that sewerage plant at 79th Street boat basin. Needless to say, those people said no. So they said, well, put it in Harlem where those Black people are. So she said, well, then if you're going to, Ruth Messenger, if you're going to give the tip, you're going to do that, then you want to build this. And when they came down from upstate New York and saw, they said, oh, hell, what the hell? Because they had no idea that she was going to make them do. The state didn't build that. Ruth Messenger was the head of city, New York City. She built that.
She was the borough president.
She was the bar president there. So she
And
built
Gail
that.
Brewer worked for me.
Huh?
Gail Brewer worked for me. Gail Brewer.
Oh, yeah, but that's how I met Gail. She was working for Ruth. Okay. And we don't want to go back to how I know Ruth's parents. We go back past their own pet, but my mother's helped my college. But anyway, next step. So that was one of my major interests economically for the area. It was what went on at the Hudson River, West Harlem Piers and things like that. The economic development of the area, which unfortunately from when I started to where it is now has really gone down. Small businesses north of 135th Street is like almost non-existent. When my committee first started a long time ago, we used to meet, we used to meet on Saturdays. Remember, we used to meet at 135th. Anyway, the committee used to meet on Saturdays at 135th Street. We had armbands. And we'd go to each individual little business, say who we were, and tell them to come to a big thing that we're gonna have at the Grand Ballroom.
Campus.
Right, okay, so that they would know that they were not alone out there, that they had people that helped and support them. That's something we need to get back involved again, is really touching the small businesses that are in the area now. I found one the other day, just blew my mind, but I'm ready to go there right now. Whew, that was so good. Got it. So, that has been my interest, that in economic development. My whole thing is how much business and finances that we could bring to the West Harlem area. Because we have the colleges, but their business leaves. You understand, when they graduate that group, it leaves. I will tell you a small history. I lived in the Manhattanville housing. NYCHA had nothing to do with the Manhattanville housing. Columbia University built the Manhattanville houses, all 6 buildings. When Columbia did it, it was built for their married students. Everybody had a 2-year lease. Your children would never cross a street till they went to high school. So the baby thing is at 3250, the grammar school was on the block, and the junior high 40 feet was there. The Columbia built the whole thing, and which they don't like everybody to know too much about it, they were the ones who sponsored moving the 26th precinct from where it wasn't a little thing this big to the building they have now. So I was there from the beginning, so now, you know, unfortunately, for these people who want to tell me something, I said, no, don't play with me, because I was here. I know, I was here when, Old Broadway, you know, it curves off now, there used to be a street and the bus used to come around there before it went into the garage and let you off. So that's what went on with me then. I'm still quite active in the local community issues, as well as what is going on in the larger area. I'm not, because this committee now actually is not as visible as it was back when we used to go out on a Saturday and make sure we talk to all the small businesses and make them feel that they were safe, they were included. So we need to look at that again, and that's why I had suggested we break up the 2 committees to a small business committee, and there was a second one, 2 of them, and the economic committee, but there's 2 separate committees dealing with these particular
You
issues.
said Harlem Piers Committee and Economic Development. That's what you said.
With the 2, okay, well, yeah. Because, oh, that was the other thing, just so you know. The 125th Street where Dinosaur is, that building, that was Amtrak stop. Amtrak train used to stop at 125th Street, and they need to stop there again.
It's
On
there
their
are
way.
plans.
Pardon me?
Yeah, there's plans to.
On their way up to Albany. Well, they weren't, because Columbia wasn't exactly giving them that building. We had to make clear that they get back that building, because it was all done and the stairs to come down from it, everything was there. And they need to go back to using it. So that's one of the agendas that we need to be involved in. And as far as I can remember that right now, that's about what I really represent and what I focus on. And getting it done and needing to know who to make one phone call and get an answer. So I don't have too much, I'm too old, I don't have much patience. One phone call, and I need an answer. Don't you say nothing, you know. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's me. Who's next that's here? Gretchen?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm Gretchen. I live probably as south as you can get in still be in the district. I think the border is the north side of 110 and I'm on 111. I'm the community partner for, the NYP 26 precinct and on 26 precinct community council. Vice president of my block association. And non-community things, they're anti-Columbia, maybe not anti-Columbia, but, I'm constantly, Danny O'Donnell lives on my street and he has constantly said, Columbia lives in our neighborhood, we don't live in theirs. So like that's sort of a mantra that I like to remind people of on a regular basis. But I manage the open street on Amsterdam Avenue. That's, we have a chapter manager right now. And, non-community things, I used to be a commercial insurance broker and then I was in corporate marketing for years and now I'm in TV commercials. I'm a runner.
Thanks.
I do running things.
Nice.
Oh, you know, excuse me, there's one thing, you know, there's one thing I never mentioned. I was one of the first at the, business travel agency reps. So I did all the business. I used to work with clients and I would call up and say, send me an Amtrak training. Amtrak would take a train, so send my group of people somewhere, we had to get a whole group of 4 people down to the press conference in Washington, and I did all that kind of stuff, and the fact that my last name was Dunn made you know automatically I was Irish, so we didn't have to go too far to when people saw me, they was unknown, that's okay, don't worry. Anyway, see, that's really when I really was working, I've been retired for a while, so I tend to forget, but when I was working, you and Miss Dunn was really quite interesting. In Europe, in America, wherever I went, it was quite interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead, you should, okay. John? You don't know the John in here? Did I miss one?
I'm John Mark.
Can I skip John Martin?
John Martin is, theater producer, director. I run Blackberry Productions Documentary Theater. I also run the Gatekeepers Collective, which is a resiliency enhancement network of same gender loving, queer, gay, bisexual, and gender expansive, male identifying African descended folk who work in support of identity reformation, empowerment, health promotion, wellness. And that is the organization I'll be representing, not Blackberry tonight. I am also a teacher at Hostos Community College, which is a junior college in the City University of New York system, in the health education unit of the education department. That's me in a nutshell.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. President. Oh, John Martin, I'm sorry. Lloyd? Yeah.
Yes, so, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, so I would say, I usually don't like to introduce myself because it's just too much. And it seems that I'm all over the place, which is because during my spare time, what I like the most is to travel.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so, to travel, to empower the community, to promote diversity of the community, to advocate for health, and to collaborate for impact. All this I can do it because of my credentials, which are small.
Okay.
I'm a physician,
Okay.
I'm an OBGYN in Belgium, not in the United States. So I can give any advice on health when I'm overseas. I hold a master in public health. I have an executive professional degree from MIT in real estate. I do have an executive professional degree from Harvard for entrepreneurship. Besides that, I do have a lot of, I'm on a board, African Hope Committee, which brought me here 6 years ago in West Harlem. Besides that, I'm part of different boards. I joined the Advanced Energy Group with the Bronx here, so we do a lot here. And I recently, I have several positions. I'm official on some and I'm a ghost in others. But this one I want to say it out loud. I'm a ghost advisor for Abdul Samad Rabiu African Initiative, which is a nonprofit based in Nigeria with an endowment of $100 million.
That's nice.
That we
works,
started.
yes, that's
I've
good.
been working with them for the past 2 years. The program that I designed for them is very successful. And we are trying to emulate that even here in Harlem. This is how, I mean, the partnership that I'm gonna be. So I will take advantage that you give me the floor. So now I'm done with me. What I wanted to talk about is just a new partnership about what we would like to propose is a partnership with nonprofit community, Commission of the Status of the Women. And this year we celebrate Beijing 30. I'm not gonna go into detail because I give.
When it's time for your presentation,
Oh.
you can then do the
Okay,
presentation.
that's okay. So this is it, that's about it. So each time that I travel, I try to link, leisure and work. So that's the reason why you don't see me here often. And because of time differences, it's sometimes so late to join the meeting, but I'm very active when I do something, and I like it because I have so much to give back to this community, because I did receive so much from them when I came here 6 years ago. Besides that, I've been in this country for 23 years. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay. All right, who we got back on that for Joshua?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening, Joshua.
Forgive me for not joining you in person. I'm out of state at the moment, traveling as well. Joshua Christopher. I live just up the street there on Hamilton Place, between at 140th, where I have served on the board of directors there for a number of years. That didn't intend to become so active, but I started working with the board up there on the HDFC co-op, and I got so I found it very interesting, and I started to really enjoy and love the work that I do up there. That's what's inspired me to join Community Board 9. I live up there with my family, wife and 2 children. They're 8 and 10. In public school up at 147th Street on Amsterdam, which used to be called Hamilton Heights School, but it's now called William Lynch, at 147th Street there. And I actually was going to just deflect slightly with a question. John Martin, you said you teach at Hostos. What do you teach there?
I teach community health education, nutrition, interpersonal relations and teamwork, human sexuality.
Oh, just a very narrow breath. Just kidding. Okay. But thank you everybody for allowing me to join via Zoom tonight.
Thank you. And that leaves Daniel Clark.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's great to meet all you guys and explore you guys. I sure this like I can absorb, take so much from all.
Can you hear him, Josh?
I'm a little low. Okay.
Keep going.
I just take so much from all you guys. I'm excited to learn from all of you. From all of them. I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 4 years. Teaching in the Bronx and South Bronx.
Where?
Mahaven, teaching Mahaven, 7th grade, humanities, history. I'm very, very passionate about making this community better, making that community better, and we're very, very difficult, but it's lucky to have great teachers who really saw my potential and pushed me to college and been through college. So I'm to do the same thing. Yeah, I want to build a charter school, and really give resources to kids, not just getting them to college, but helping them once they get out of the classroom, feeling what they do. Because, a lot of my kids leave the classroom, I don't know what they're doing. This one story that is really interesting. I have a student who's MLL, so her first language is Spanish, so she was learning English in Korea, and I see her on the train. And I saw her today on the train selling candy, and it was just, I see her all the time, but today there was something about it. We had a long day, I gave a lot of work, I gave her a lot of homework, and she is 4:30, as soon as I'm coming to leave school, there she is by herself on that train selling candy. I said, wow, this is why I'm doing this work.
Yeah.
She deserves everything. She works so hard. So I really, really want to make a big impact on you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Very much. Okay, so that was, I really wanted each member to know what the other members were interested in, so that you could kind of work with each other and not knowing, what they want to do or what they do when they're not here, So that helps you. So now, Look, the West Harlem Piers. Well, as I think, the West Harlem Piers is an economic area for West Harlem, and we need to go ahead and push it to go. The Marine Transfer Station, the people that were involved in it, that had the money to do it. I've spoken to them lately. They gave them a presentation, they gave an excellent presentation for the transfer station. Of course, it would require that we get that started and then talk to Jersey so that the people could get back and forth. It, what quiet is kept, which I intend to definitely have a conversation with Columbia, is it would help them because Columbia has a way of their professors at a certain level, they provide housing. They don't have any more land anymore. And most of them have been sent to New Jersey. That's why Jersey's almost across the Hudson. That's, I know definitely if the retransfer station was working and the Manhattanville campus that Columbia is building, they would be like this, side by side. So that's my, one of the other things in terms of what's the West Harlem Piers. That, the return of the Amtrak train going north, and well, going north in particularly. For the piers, it's, and
Did you have a chance to read the article? I mean, probably not if you had.
which article?
Trouble accessing the minutes, but if you access the minutes, I put a link to an article that has the plans for how, when they extend Metro North, but basically Metro North is gonna go to Penn Station.
Right.
And when they do that, then the train station here and at 61st is supposed to also open, something in the 60s. There's supposed to be a stop in the 60s.
I didn't see the article, my
Yeah,
computer.
see,
Several on one West
Yeah.
133rd Street.
Where?
Yeah.
No, that's the crazy
the
building
article-
where,
article-
When
we live, I thought it was linked in there.
Article
When
from
we had
2015 regarding ferries.
Yes,
Maybe not.
Where are you?
Let me look.
How come I'm not looking at the same paper you are?
There might not, the
looking at-
link may not have been on there, but it's the phase two of the
Okay,
Penn
then
access
that was-
program is what it's called.
Ah,
I have to remember
Yeah.
this, why am I not seeing?
It's
I'll
not-
pull it up
it's
and
not-
I'll link you the actual, I'll send you like the actual article as opposed to the link.
Yes.
But yeah, there's talks of it, I mean, it's tied up in a lot of things, right, because it's called the Penn Access Program. And the first part of it was the, new subway the new, train station at Grand Central. Grand Central Madison was phase one,
Okay,
and then they're working on the Penn Station side of it, and obviously it's being held up by a lot of stuff because there's a lot of question mark about what they're gonna do with the whole Penn Station
yeah.
situation, but the plan is for, with that, and then the Gateway Tunnel, right, that's supposed to go to New Jersey, that they're building for Amtrak. It's all sort of tied together, but the plan itself is to have Metro North going to Penn Station, and when Metro North goes into Penn Station, the 125th stop will reopen and one in the 60s, is the long story short of it. So that is the plan. The execution of it, I don't know, timeline, I don't know, but.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, it's just that for most people know, it's that this community board, the Economic Development Committee should know. And no matter what, privacy is kept, they're gonna end up having to come anyway, but if they come and we haven't had any advanced information or what, they can tell me that, the sun's shining when it's not.
Well, I mean,
Very
that's-
important that they
yeah.
put to- But they're
Could-
gonna have to go to every community board that's, sort of, they have.
Right, but I mean, again, like our role is advisory, so they could, they could say, we'll tell you what we're doing and.
Could I make a suggestion? Marita, do you have someone that you could contact to maybe make a presentation on what the implementation is going to look like down in West Harlem Piers?
The presentation of what at Harlem Piers, son?
I'm just saying, do you know
The
anybody
people
who
who doing the
could?
Marine Transfer Station?
No, the
Amtrak.
train station, the Metro North.
Oh, I haven't
Sorry,
talked to
Amtrak.
Amtrak at all.
Do-
yet.
Metro, no, okay.
I'm suggesting that we brainstorm a way to get someone who does have the details of the implementation of the plan to come make a
So what you
presentation
say,
before this
Amtrak
committee.
should be invited to our very next meeting. I hear that. That's real clear.
Thank you.
Josh. That's clear.
I think I may have found the developer for it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's the next one? Let's move ahead because the time is going.
Mhm.
Could I, before we move from West Harlem Piers, could I say just two other items, updates? I'm still working on organizing the walkthrough / tour of the Marine Transfer Station. I have had calls out to the borough president's office, who was not very helpful. And Yutha is helping me work on that as well. Additionally, when we met last month, we talked about pursuing the either reinstatement of the old bus line or a new bus line to service the area. I just wanted to gauge the appetite from these committee members, whether I should pursue that a little bit further or if we should back off on that. What's the feeling?
Okay, let me fill you in. The 19 bus that is now the 125. That bus used to go to marginal, 12th Avenue, make a right, go north to 135th, and that's where they would stop and get off and break and whatever. And then they would start back down. So that would take care of all of the local traffic that runs along the piers. It will also take care of all of the traffic that Columbia is planning for their dormitory, which is going to be in that area.
Right,
So that's just a
similar-
matter of us saying that y'all need to go back, which is one of the issues we need to address, is having that 125 bus go back.
Right, so similar to our conversation last month, my question at the moment is, shall I pursue that with the DOT, or do we want to try a different pathway to encourage this? How do we want to proceed?
You should pursue it with DOT first.
Okay, so
Definitely.
I have agreement,
Yes, the Department of
meeting of the minds, that
Transportation,
it's okay for me.
Yes.
Meeting of the minds is in the room, that I can reach out to them on behalf of the committee?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Okay. I think that's the Pierce, that's done, that's good. Where are we?
Economic development.
Economic development, that is the thing of trying to go on my head. Trying to reach out to the small businesses. We need to form a group of members that will meet and then, so I have the armbands that say, community board 9, we used to meet on a Saturday and they put on the armbands, we went to all the little businesses. And they're supposed to be, that gentleman there, he's supposed to be having a business, gentleman here, he's supposed to be having this business conference, And it would be nice if we had some small businesses at the business conference, so we need to get out to them, so we have, who are the new members, who are the, since John and started, those businesses have changed dramatically. And I just looked at what, I went to, wait, have you been to the Blue Room, 150th in Amsterdam?
I have.
Ooh, I don't know, something like that. And the live music, anyway,
All right.
so, yeah, we need to get one-on-one with the small businesses so we can have a successful farm. I know that the last time, what's the ballroom up at 140th Street? Grand Slam donated the ballroom to us. And the West Harlem Coalition served the food and everything, and nobody showed up. Well, put it this way, and I will tell you so you understand. The Grand Slam, you know the ballroom, right? The door didn't have a sign, and the new people from the area thought it was closed. So we're upstairs waiting for them, food and everything, and they downstairs saying, oh, well, I guess they didn't have it because it's.
My question is, it's so great to have everybody gathering, but do we have a database of who's who in terms of small businesses here?
We haven't made it yet. We have to make that, the small business committee, that'll be part of their job.
Okay.
To identify,
I'll take it.
we got it,
I'll-
I can get it. It's to identify the small businesses now, who's own it, the West Indian restaurant that's right here on 125th Street that I got the own the Haven as well.
So we have to define first, what do we mean by small business? first.
Well, we don't mean C-Town in the supermarket, right? We
And
don't mean
then,
a small business is just that. It's not a supermarket. A supermarket is a business in the area, but they're not a small business.
Which is why Dr. Monguia is saying we should come up with a a definition for,
Or what is a small business?
yeah. You know, does that mean that there are, you know, less than 10 staff
Employees?
members or what, do they generate, how much in
income.
income per annum? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but we gotta first, all right. I know what you're saying, you're right. What we started out many years ago was first just identifying them and letting them know we existed. So when we went there, we usually asked for the owners, so that we know who the owners, how long they've been there, what did they want to do. But that was on a what, were you here when we used to do that on?
I was.
Right, we used to do that on a Saturday and go to all the different small businesses in the area.
But finish your thought, if you
Yeah.
will, please, Dr. Monguia.
But today, we do have the Chamber of Commerce. And I do believe that
They would have.
their
the-
job is to have a listing, an electronic listing. So you,
Is it by area or by, you know, the okay, the Chamber of Commerce.
yes, the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, the Women's Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
yeah.
Josh, your hand is up, you recognize?
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
Say hi to your
Yeah, I got a
mom
little
for
hug
us.
from my mom.
Yes.
She's just delivering some hot tea to me. Thank you. So, I hear the importance of the small businesses, and I read
Oh dear.
conversations over the last few months has been small business is not the only size business. And you bring up Seatown. I mean, they are a part of the economic activity in this area, and I just I guess I'm observing that we are only focusing on small business, and maybe a question, you know, how do we incorporate medium and or larger business if our real goal as a committee is economic development for the area? Solid base of small businesses is crucial, but I don't think that we should close our minds to other.
Exclude.
No,
Yes,
I,
exclude.
you're right, you're right. Cause you're absolutely right. When we started,
Economic
the
interest.
problem was the small businesses had nobody. The larger businesses, quiet as it's kept, they do, believe it or not, have each other. Cause I'm done with them. And did you talk to Mary Jane over there and this and this? I said, ha. So I do know they have a connection, but those little businesses don't. But you're right. It should really, he's right, it should eventually be all of the business. But hitting the small businesses.
Yeah.
First, yes, I agree with you. You're
Sorry,
right. You're right.
You know, in the conversations in the last couple of months, I've just I've gone away thinking about it. I didn't want to say anything at that point, but I was thinking, you know, what is the way if our goal is economic prosperity in our area, in our district, in our community district, what is the best way to approach that? I think that having a solid base of small businesses is obviously critical for, but do we have the appetite or the interest in trying to attract maybe some larger business? You know, I look at the city a lot of times in terms of how it relates to the rest of the country and how it relates to from like downtown or the financial district to the other parts of the city. And a lot of it feels like extractive economies. Whereas our small businesses here are sometimes meant to keep the enough economic activity going in our area so that we can continue supplying workers for the bigger businesses in other parts of the city. And I just wonder if, and consequently, some of the finances, some of the capital is pulled out of our area to service the bigger industries elsewhere in the city. And I just wonder if we shouldn't look at trying to balance that almost trade deficit a little bit. If you talk about labor and people's efforts, finance, things of that nature. Just a working theory that I'm trying to sort through, and I wonder the committee's thoughts on that.
And he reminded me that, those of us who know about the Manhattanville Business District. Remember that? You sure you know what I'm talking about, right? At 125th, Amsterdam from 127th to 126, 127, the Mink, you know where the Mink, okay. The Mink building is the Manhattanville Business District. So all those that whole new strip of building is supposed to have one floor for small businesses who need an office space. And they have a conference room, but they have a little office thing, so that's to be developed, and they're supposed to give our committee a tour. But I'm going out there now in this weather, that is a little too cold for me to call it.
Where's the building?
The whole area, it's an area. It's from Amsterdam Avenue, from 126 to 128, to really 17, you know when you come up, you know where the main building is?
Big building? No.
Okay, on Amsterdam Avenue retreat at 126th Street, there's a building called the Mink Building. You ever seen it?
Oh, yes,
It's the
I've been
east
there 2
side.
weeks
You
ago.
and I see your hand, I see your hand, I just want you to know that, okay?
The main building.
The Mink Building, right. Now, that whole block is
So you
one
know which
big
one is
business
that?
area, all the
One
way
block?
down.
Yeah.
And the people
On-
came in for the
On the
presentation here,
uptown
but
side of the
they're supposed to take our committee.
Yes, I let her know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you, George.
I know that you have a lot to say.
Wait, but I wanted our committee to know that a tour of that particular business area, the whole big area, was planned. I didn't push it when the weather dropped, but we can look at it maybe February, March, what do you think? Wait, March is better? All right, good. I'm sorry, yes, Josh.
No, it's Ewan, please, you have.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Ewan? I don't even see Ewan. Yes, Ewan.
Are you there?
Yeah,
you were-
yeah, I'm just
Oh,
trying
yeah, you
to. Hello, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
So,
Ewan.
yeah, so it's the beginning of the new year, right? And everyone is raring to go, as we are. But I just have some comments to respond to some of Josh's comments. I don't know that there is an extractive ecosystem in West Harlem. A lot of the owners, well, maybe let me just say who I am. I'm Yuen Chin, and I've been in the community since 1986. I think I bought my house. And I've been active in the community since 1989. I consider myself, I'm a homeowner. I worked at NBC for years, took retirement about 10, 15 years ago. Oh my God, it's that long. But since moving to Harlem, I've been very active in the community. I'm committed, especially to West Harlem. That's where my passion, that's where my heart is. And I consider myself an advocate, an activist, historic preservationist, and a community builder. And we have two organizations, the West Harlem Community Preservation Organization, which was initiated by Bill Lynch, for which that school at 152nd was named for, and he's a neighbor. And I also run Harlem One Stop, which is a culture portal highlighting the cultural landscape in Harlem. So I've been doing that, since 1989. Harlem One Stop is more recent, 2006. I've been.
Ewan, is there a specific question that you're
Yes,
addressing?
yes,
Because you
but
do have
but
space for
I
your
have to.
presentation later.
Yeah, I have to do this, and in order to provide some context. So we're
Looking at time.
responsible for a lot of firsts in Hamilton Heights, including the house tour, which opened this area to what is now being, to gentrifies. I was president of the Homeowners Association. We had annual house tour for years, and then stopped when those that who were attracted to the area for what it is, and bought property in the area, decided that they didn't want to open their houses as the Black people did or the community did, you know, um, prior. So we've been working with the businesses over the last, maybe 8 years. And most of the businesses, whether it's Latino or, African American or Arabic, whatever, they are owner operated. They're not tied into a larger entity. This community does have a problem with workforce. There's not enough people to hire. So but I don't think that it is because some a larger entity outside of the community is extracting that labor force. It's not. You know, there's a high percentage of undocumented Latinos here who form the core of the service industry here. But most of the owners, and there's a language issue, but most of the small businesses are people who live here, Latino, Blacks, whites, whatever their ethnic make, they're here and they've invested in the community. The question is, what do we see this in terms of economic development? Someone said, well, define small businesses. I think this committee, and I've said this before, also have to define what you mean by economic development. And until everyone has that vision and has a shared definition, there's no way to move forward. We got a grant, a second grant from SBS 2 years this year to organize the merchants. Now, the chamber had gotten one. I don't know what happened to that. I've asked it, and but they no longer are doing that work. We are doing that work, and we're working with all the small businesses. It's very, 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 very hard. I started in 2020. And it's not as easy as Merida says, maybe in years back, but it's not as easy. And Joyce would probably know this, because she works with small businesses, though. But some of them don't have brick and mortar, but they're a business and they contribute to the economy, of this community. But it is very, very difficult to organize and to develop a database for this community. And, it will take too long for me to go into the different reasons, but I'm sure you all could guess what those reasons are. So, and it's not as easy as going in and asking for the owner of that business. It just doesn't happen. So for this year, we've been working for the businesses. We launched for the second time to a food festival, which went very well, and integrated that with the arts community in bringing music to the restaurants primarily. And the restaurants primarily because they have a shared, value in terms of that sector. One of the things that came out, they were very, very happy to have someone bringing them together and them getting to know, other restaurant owners and being able to talk about the challenges and to communicate. We have a WhatsApp group, and to give you an example, someone's workers didn't show up. They were able to get on the WhatsApp and say, hey, I really need help. I have a group coming in and I'm short. And another restaurant was able to answer right away to say, we've got 2 people that we can send over to you because we're not
So
very,
Joanne, are you proposing this as a strategy that we take up
I
rather
am
than?
saying that there is the chamber for whatever they do. I don't really know. There are people like us, there are people like just working with the small businesses. Once you define what economic development means to this community and what you consider as small businesses that requires help, then you can move forward. But you're talking about having another committee and a database and walking in, and that's bits and pieces of it already out there. So you put yourself in the position where you know what you want for the community as a community board to advocate for those changes or to bring resources to the community, and you work with the existing group. Why are you starting from scratch? You
Thank
don't
you.
have the
Joanne.
you don't have the
Those are-
capacity, I don't see,
Those are helpful
So
proposals. Thank you.
anyway,
Right.
that's my 2 bits.
To start
Yeah,
from.
Yes.
that's right.
No,
That's
no,
right. Yeah.
she makes quite a lot of sense. We have a lot of things.
Create a database for
information
small
that-
businesses, I already wrote it down.
No, we have a lot of people who have information about the small businesses in the community already, so, but like you said.
Tap the existing resources.
Exactly.
Also, though, her first point, which she did make last year, I recall, we need to clarify specifically what we mean by economic development. And so that we can know how,
What we're trying to help
yeah.
them.
what we're-
Now, the time is almost 8 o'clock and we have to
Yes.
leave at about 8:30. So I
Okay.
just want to give people who have presentation opportunity to make their presentation. And then, we can close out by the time we finish. So can John Green start first with his presentation?
I'll be brief. If I may. Okay, so, we're representing, the Gatekeepers Collective, which, as I've mentioned previously, is what we call a resiliency enhancement network of same-gender loving African descended men, who work to support identity reformation, empowerment, health promotion, wellness. Among the ways we do that include the development of public art and theatrical narrative development processes. One of our public art initiatives is the banners heralding the centennial of the Harlem Renaissance and some of the same gender loving sheroes and heroes who pioneered it. The current iteration of which include Barbara Jordan, Lorraine Hansberry, James Baldwin, Bayard Rustin, and Audrey Lorde across West 125th from Morningside over to 12th
That's
Avenue.
what I would, yes.
Another initiative that I want to share with you tonight, Public Art Theatrical Narrative Development Initiative, is called Learning to Love, which involves highlighting the work of young, emerging, same-gender loving queer artists. 2 visual artists. We will, one of our board members, designer, John Key, will curate exhibitions, installations of their work, which we will mount in Link NYC kiosks around West Harlem and other parts of the city, starting this spring. And the theatrical narrative development portion of which involves an ethnographic research process in which we partner young emerging same-gender loving playwrights with same-gender loving elders of distinction, who hold space with each other over the course of several months, during which the playwrights craft one-act plays reflecting some of their experience. And those we mount, the most recent iteration of those we mounted at the theater at Harlem School of the Arts in November. And we'll be doing that again this spring. That's the project. Learning to Love, the public art theatrical narrative development process.
Can you explain a little bit more about I understand the connecting the playwrights with the
Same gender
artists,
loving elders.
the elements,
Mhm.
yeah. Can you explain the first project you guys are doing? I think you said you guys have, murals from one side.
There are banners, that's called Harlem Renaissance 2.0.
Yeah.
On West 125th Street. From Morningside over to 12th Avenue, on light poles, across that stretch, you will see. What is it? They're 3 by 8 foot banners. With images of, this iteration of banners is the first successor generation to the pioneers, the same gender loving pioneers of the Harlem Renaissance. So we had images of Langston Hughes, Ma Rainey, County Cullen, Claude McKay, Alain Locke. This iteration is James Baldwin, Audre Lorde, Lorraine Hansberry, Barbara Jordan, yes, and Maya Rustin, who are the first successor generation. That's a public art installation that celebrates the centennial of the Harlem Renaissance and some of the same gender loving or queer sheroes and heroes who pioneered it. Yeah, and made contributions to
Then you will
the
see,
history of.
if you go on 125th Street, go to any bus stop, read the direction and look up.
It's a banner.
It's look up,
There
there's
are
going to
light
be,
poles all
they're on
across
the
West
poles,
125th.
but if you don't, but if you start at the bus stop, then you get the idea where you want them.
You
Go to the bus
go
stop
to
and
the
look up.
train station, you can go to the train station on 125th.
Or just
But
Google it
it's-
now. Just Google it. Google it now and you'll see it.
But that's why we didn't tell you to go to the train, go to the bus, because the bus stop, you look right there, you'll see it. Go to another bus stop, look up, and then you'll get the idea to look through the block, but they're all there, they're very, and they're easier to see between 12th Avenue and Broadway. Cause it's, Columbia's just buildings, it's not all that built, you know, there's not all the businesses like, but the whole 125th Street has it. All right, so
Sure.
where are we now?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Basements,
Okay, so moving on along.
we did economic development. Well, we
And
should-
so I'm the next one to present, so let me do it real quick. So I take up that hat of economic development committee board now. I'm now speaking as the president of New York African Arts Ensemble. Okay, so, wow, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, so a lot of hate crimes in New York City. And I was also still engaged with the NYPD. So NYPD was going around the city asking community leaders to work with them to create programs that could help reduce hate crimes. Because the reality of it is that every single one of us is a potential victim of hate crimes, right? So I thought about it and I'm a musician, I'm a trained singer by
And she can dance, that's another.
So I thought about it and I said, okay, I know where I belong, okay. I see all this, different parades, the African American parades, the Irish parade, the this parade and that parade. And also having, also myself being a victim of, prejudice, I would say hate crime, prejudice. Just because I'm Nigerian or African, you know, I understood, you know, what people, how people feel. So I went to the NYPD and I told them, I said, you know, why don't we have a festival that celebrates the cultural diversity of New York City? But everyone can come together and learn about each other, you know, because many people don't even know that they have similar traditions, like, you know, with other people and, you know, different things. So they said, okay, Joyce, we'll give you everything you need except for money.
Except for the money,
I said,
right?
that's fine. I will get the money and, you know, we'll take care of it. So, we started doing the, festival. And, the festival, I must say, first of all, it was 1 year. We were doing it once a year at Jackie Robinson Park. And then people will come up to me and say, Joyce, how come you only doing it one day in a year? If we miss the festival, that means we have to wait a whole year. I said, yeah, it has to do with funding, you know, as an African, we're the least funded. Okay? I said, but if I get more funding, I'll be able to expand it, so as God would have it, I did get funding, we did get additional funding, which extended the festival to 2 weekends. So first at Jack Robinson Park, and now on the street on St. Nicholas Avenue, we've been there, oh my God. 2000, I don't know, 2014, I believe.
Where?
St. Nicholas Avenue,
Oh, so that's.
yeah, so from 144th to 141st to 145th. We are there, I've heard people say, I didn't know there was so much diversity in New York City. I've heard children say I had the best fun, you know, people just amazed at what could come about when we all come together. You know, it's like a bouquet of flowers. You have flowers from different types of flowers, but when you put them together, it's beautiful. So you see people in their traditional attire, singing their traditional songs, dancing their traditional music. You have food from different parts of the world, and you just come there and just enjoy yourself from morning till night, you know, well, not 12 to 6, anyway, people are there. Another thing that we saw when we were doing this festival was that there were a lot of people who wanted to sell things. And I knew that you need to have a street vendor license in order to sell. So when I asked, okay, where is your license? They didn't know what I was talking about. So I saw a need in this community to teach people how to get their street vendor license. So I started having free classes for people who wanted to be their own boss. Many of them, as you pointed out, they were Hispanics. Many African American, who were underemployed, unemployed, and wanted to make some money. So I connected with, at that time it was the Department of Consumer Affairs, and started having workshops, teaching about how to get a license, how to even sell, because my family as well, one of my brothers used to, he started the, how do you say it? Well, he started a clothing manufacturing company, an African clothing manufacturing company, just, you know, high class, you know? And, he had received a key to the city, he had been he traveled all over the world, you know, doing this. And so he started off being a vendor, so I used to work with him as well, although whenever I wasn't performing outside the country, I would work with him. You know, so I knew about vending, the things that would make you successful as a vendor. So at that workshop, I would teach people how to vend, the little tricks of trade of being of succeeding in business. So a lot of people pass through us, you know, and from there, I linked up with the Manhattan Borough President, which was Gail Brewer at that time, after many years. Linked up with her, and she started giving out a list of places where people could vend, because we didn't want them to just vend at our festival. We wanted them to vend at other places. And then also started creating different indoor concerts, where the audience will be the market for the vendors. Okay? So these are the things that I do for many years, you know. I just took a little break because I was getting too much. So anyway, the 16th edition of the New York City Multicultural Festival will take place this year, June 7th and June 21st. We are actually extending it to 2 weeks, and we will be, because we'll be partnering with people like you, the Women's Chamber of Commerce, different restaurants, arts organizations and all who are doing different things. So we're going to be partnering with them to offer culturally specific activities to people. So that's what we're going to be doing this year. And if anybody wants to come, and help out. I always say the festival is for the people and by the people, because you have a lot of people who come and do one thing or the other. Even if it's just one day they can give to do one thing, they do it. So it's for the people, by the people. And that is what that's the project that WHDC has funded for us, several years now. And we also receive funding from other sources. Last year, we had the commissioner of Department of Cultural Affairs come through, and she was totally impressed by it. She said, this is exactly what the city needs, to bring unity. Because you can see everybody, I mean, we have pictures of different cultures coming together, taking pictures, talking, we have salsa classes, and it's so funny when you see people in different attires representing different countries and they're dancing salsa, but they're not Hispanics, So a lot of things like that we see, and Ms. Dunn was there last year, so she was able to see for the very first time what the New York City.
It wasn't my very first, it was a terrible event.
You're right. You're right.
Congratulations
That
on the
event-
collaboration.
Wait, that event was so bad that we had a major, wait, Joyce, talk about this one, we had a major rainstorm. I mean, it poured like it was never gonna stop. And the people who had an umbrella waited, people like me were up under the thing trying to stay. It rained for close to an hour or more.
No, it
Joyce.
it rained for 20 minutes without exaggerating.
Listen,
Maybe
I was
15,
there.
20 minutes. I was there too.
No, you wasn't, you was in and out the
Anyway, it
building.
was not cold.
It was
No,
not.
it was in the summer. And there's a
was
place,
heat
but-
wave that day.
And everybody was washed away.
The bottom line
It was
is,
a heat
Right,
wave.
let's
I
do
was
it.
like,
give me quite, tell me how you went in the building. Anyway.
I was in my car.
Okay,
All right.
but it was enough of a festival that the people stayed regardless of the weather and waited for it to end. So after whether they prayed for it or not, you understand, and then when it ended, then that's when those people from a different country, a whole set of different people came up and performed. It was one of the better, that's the best outdoor one, and then where's the indoor one I was at the other day?
Oh, the indoor one.
Yeah, let's talk about
With
that.
the food. With the food.
The food was excellent, and where's the girls in here? Honey, those men at that thing was, let me tell you about the men. All right, keep going, Joyce.
Tortillas.
I was there, I can tell you, I was in the front. I saw every policeman, I saw every man that sang, I can tell you.
Dr. Mongolia.
Yes, gonna be very short.
Go ahead.
Yes, to bring, I'm gonna piggyback on Joyce,
Yes,
and I
right.
want to compliment her again.
Oh, she was there. She came this December.
Yeah, oh yeah, yes,
December,
yes.
you-
we did.
And those men were cute, did I tell you? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, we did a lot of pictures. Anyway, to bring unity, diversity. So I had the honor to attend a forum at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice sometimes in November.
So just I see your hands when Clotilde
Yes,
finish, we'll take your
yeah.
question.
And I related that to Victor. It was a series of forums held in partnership with the NGO, the Committee on the Status of the Women, and the John Jay. And it was about to review and to try to bring to the awareness of the community about not human rights, but women rights. Based on the Beijing Declaration, as you know, we are celebrating 30 years. Where are we 30 years later? Do we have to upgrade? Things has changed in terms, so that was really about different topic about that declaration. And the last event at that time, it was education and leadership. But we do have also economic development around this concept. So it was very, for me, it was very interesting, very well attended, and we really aligned to what we do here about our community and how to empower them, how to teach them about those different challenges and opportunities as well. So Victor said, can we have them as well and come here and partner with us? I said, I would like to, but it's not only economic development and it's all the community who can be involved. We can be involved, education and youth can be involved. So I drafted a little concept note, but it was during the 1 week before the Christmas break. So I sent it to Pamela Morgan. She's one of the co-chair of the NGO CSW. She also welcomed, of course, she's one of the stakeholders. She's the one who put the whole idea with the John G. And she's just waiting for us. And as we said, I would like us to take the leadership of that. It's gonna be just a forum of last like a 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. They will come here in our community. We can select which topic we want to present and invite. It's just having this meeting here, but to be very specific. Are we gonna be talking about economic development? What is the priority standing? Are we gonna be talking about education and leadership? Eventually, that would be led by Deidre and Shanika. Are we gonna be talking about the impact of climate change within the reality of what we live in here in West Harlem? That would be more with Laputa. So we would like to have 3 events once a month and then see if it's something that we can reiterate or scale up.
3 events. How many months? Or one event,
April, May, and June.
3 events in each of those 3 months?
Yes. No, once a month.
Once a month, okay, but 3 months, once a month, one
Yes.
event, okay.
We can do only one
But,
time.
but you said that you wrote up, is there a written piece that you could share with us?
Yes, I do.
That would
Because,
be
yes,
very
I
helpful.
do. So you did receive already the,
We did?
no, yes, I just give it now, just now. So because it was very informal first, and I wanted to put that on the table, I did wrote several concept notes based on the committee. And here you have a letter
Yes,
that
okay.
I sent to Pam, telling her that we would love to partner with them. Deidre even talk about city college. We say city college would be a good fit for us as well in terms of, the human rights, but women's rights. Yes, here within West Harlem. And then last, it will be, we usually, and also to expose our community about the global aspect. We are here, the UN is just around the corner, and very few of our people here know about what they are doing. That would impact us, and now we can share with them. So it's also a different way of to bridge between the UN headquarters and what West Harlem is doing, is vice versa. And there's so much other opportunity for here. Let me talk about the youth, about internship, things like even job as well. So I'm done here.
Okay. What were you, I'm sorry, I lost, what were you asking us to do with this project?
To
A letter of support?
not really a letter. We don't even need money because the space, we have it already.
Okay,
Pam bring the concept. We need to select which topic we want to be discussed. And then.
but I'm dealing with this letter, the basic of
The
this.
basic letter, this letter was
Right.
drafted more for the youth.
All right, okay, yeah, so what I'm
But I have
saying,
another one for the economic development as well,
all right,
with different topic eventually.
all right.
We can select.
The one for economic development, is that one ready or not?
It is ready.
All right.
You're gonna have
What
it.
I would ask you to do is make sure that this committee gets the echo, because that's our committee. Get a thing like this. Then you can ask, well, let's see. This is. Journal board. If you get it to us, I'd like for us in time. So we could afford this month or would have to wait for next,
I would like
or
to.
letter of support?
Yes, we can do it for this month. It's
If we,
approved.
let's just skip the executive board and use general board as the measure or try for both.
You gotta go through,
Go to vote?
executive
All right.
order.
So you've got to get that information to us tomorrow.
Yes.
Executive Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. No,
Yeah, executive is Thursday.
that's like
Day
second
after
and
tomorrow.
third, second and third. Oh, wow. You know what? The holiday threw off a week for me. That's what it is. Yeah.
So, we have.
So when you go home, I should get this tonight.
Tomorrow morning, yes, yes. You
So
will.
we approve. Josh, so we approve. Josh,
Hannah?
your hands up.
Josh, your hand is up?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I missed the button. Clotilde, yeah, I look forward to reading that letter as well. I hope that you can get it to us right away. Also, for this discussion and the earlier one that we were having, I think that giving ourselves some definition and parameters is a useful exercise, and I agree with that that idea. What I really just put my hand up to say, Joyce, I really commend you on the idea of the workshop. I think is, as you put it, to help teach people how to get their street vendor license. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Bravo.
Okay.
You still do the workshops? I didn't say it.
No, I took a little break.
But we heard about it. So.
But you know, what's the interesting.
But it's a great idea, so I commend you.
Okay, I'm
You have
sorry,
to make
okay.
like more than $600 a year or something, like, I think you can be a vendor at something that only happens twice a year without getting your full street vendor's license. So that might be kind of fun too, if people are sort of interested and they wanna test something out, like somebody's maybe crafting at home and they're not sure they wanna do the whole street vendor license.
So let me first of all address Josh and then address you. So Josh, what happens is that some people still contact me to help them with getting their street vendor license, or if they have questions, and there's a lot of things that goes into it. And then to your question, if you're going to be a street vendor and you're not a where's your vendor?
Right, yeah.
You have to have a street vendor license because the producers have to send a report to
Right.
City Hall. Right? And they request the permit number of every vendor. So in order for you to get that permit, you have to go through the process.
Right, but I think that's what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that there's a waiver, and it may have just been a COVID thing, that if you do less than a certain threshold, it might be 6,000 a year or something like that, and it's not more than 12 times a year, or something, like, there's two thresholds that fits, you don't have to have a permit, or you didn't have to at least during COVID. So it might be worth looking into, because we use that for a couple of events that I put on where people were like just making things at home and didn't know if they wanted to make this their whole thing. Basically, we got in trouble for not getting permits, and the city told us you can work around it this way. Right, exactly, right? Right, we basically were having a garage sale and somebody ratted us out and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But then that's how we found out about this thing, that it's like, the exception is if you're not selling your stuff every week, you know, the booksellers are out there all the time, they're doing it, they need a permit, but if you're basically just like having a garage sale version, then you don't.
Ours is a festival, not a garage sale.
Right, no, I know, but it's like the same, it basically like, because we don't have garages and places where you can do it, you can bring your wares to a thing. It might not work with your particular permit, but it is an interesting loophole that we didn't know about until the city told us about it.
Yeah. I'll look into it though, because most of the people that we come across, they want to make,
Right.
like in the summertime.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
go to all the festivals.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it makes a lot of.
But it's also like, they make it so much for some of those that the entrance fee is so expensive that it's like, you gotta pay $500 to get in.
Thank you for
It's free.
reminding me of this. This is the best component of what we're doing. So, from the grant that we get, we purchase tables,
Yes.
chairs, pens, and
Yeah.
make it free.
Yes,
for
that's
the
amazing.
That's wonderful.
Now we're talking.
Wow.
Some of these festivals charge $500,
I
even for the
know.
space, and then you have to show up and do all your stuff. So if you're just making crafts at home and you're not sure if you wanna turn it into a business, it's so risky.
You know, sorry, one more time, right?
That's a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Massive.
One year, we did not want to charge anything. You know what the city told us? If we don't charge them, they'll charge us 25,000.
Yeah.
But we keep it charging. What we charge them is much more than, the tables, chairs and fences. It's less what they pay, it's less, so they're like, they can't believe it. So when they call us and I tell them, you get this and this free, but it's a first come, first served basis, because the rent is so much. It's, are you kidding me? I said, no, I'm not kidding. What you need to do is you thank this elected official, thank that elected official, because they made it possible. This is your dollar being put to work for you.
I'd like to see the city honestly do more events like this, like the small independent ones, versus the street fairs that are run by like two companies, that it's a whole monopoly. Those street fairs, it's the same.
Sorry, mine is a street fair.
No, but you know what I'm talking, it's there's the two companies that
I don't know.
buy up almost all the permits, and it's the same stuff, and it's not necessarily like small craft people, it's.
It's the same vendors
More like
moving
that.
from street to street.
Yeah, I like more like that, where it's actually unique stuff that you're not gonna see at the exact same one.
We do
Three
have
months
in
away.
August, I attended another one in August, the Harlem.
Yeah, well, the one that's down in my neighborhood, like, the community doesn't get a single penny of it. They close down Broadway, the community doesn't get any penny of it. The event producer makes all this money. Pardon, the one that goes, well, we have two of them, goes from Broadway, it's all on Broadway, 110th, all the way up to 116th, I
I
think.
know that one.
Yeah. And the event producers come and the local businesses don't make any money because they don't ask the
But that's
local
in front
businesses.
of,
if they
on
want-
Broadway?
Yeah.
That's in front of all the colleges, there's nothing
Well,
there.
that's all.
Yeah,
It's not, there's 110th, you got Westside Market,
Businesses on either
Pizza.
side.
You said, you said on up Broadway.
I said Broadway from 110
Yeah.
to 116th
Yeah,
Street.
that's a
Yeah,
Columbia
but
case.
There are a lot of small businesses up there.
It's 10 o'clock.
But there's
Thank you.
one on,
Oh,
off of
geez.
135th, the one in August, 135th from, I think, San Nicolas to Fifth Avenue or Madison.
My point is, I like these really unique events versus the same ones that are put on by like basically a corporation and all they do is just pick it up and move it around and around. I like more of these ones that are like really unique and planned by the community, for the community, and ask the community to get involved as opposed to just plop it down.
Yeah, yeah.
The food trucks are also the same. They want a guarantee of some ridiculous amount. We we closed off used to close off Amsterdam 3 times during the summer, and we want to get back to that. That was pre-COVID, but these food vendors and food trucks and street festival vendors, they monitor the city permits, and they technically can just drive up and park anywhere, alongside your event, and there's nothing that you can do because by right they're able to. But that's what they do, because I used to get calls all the time. We want to come. At least they showed me that courtesy. But except for 1 year when one showed up and would not move. And there was nothing that I could do about it. But that's the way it is. There's monopoly on the streets.
Well, I just thought that economic development, you have to think about how the small businesses can benefit better.
Definitely.
Yeah, how do you assist them?
Right.
So you
Mhm.
make
So
something
the
free.
sooner we will have our fair to gather everybody.
Use the tax money to do something that the small business benefit.
And
All right, so it is 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, okay,
What was that going, cause I closed up.
Can I just quickly announce my thing so I don't have
I'm so
to?
sorry, you went, no, she does have a
missed it.
presentation.
Wait.
It's
a
2
minute.
minutes. It's 2 minutes.
Wait, You and hold on a minute, the
Huh?
chairs of the committee are telling you yes, wait 1 minute.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Ewan.
Okay. All right. So we got this is for the WHDC funding. We received funding for 2024-25 for public programming. I mean, I didn't get as much as I asked for, way, way less. Um, um, but what we're doing this summer, we're collaborating with the Friends of St. Nicholas Park. This is the second year of collaboration. The Parks Department and the Friends want to bring music into the park. So last year, they launched the Sounds at St. Nick's, which was created by Tariq Mac I forget it, McQueen or something. I forget his last name. And it basically featured, you know, two emerging artists. And that was the first year. The weather was awful. It was around this, it wasn't a weekend that Joyce had her thing, but it was, I think it was either before or after. I mean, even with our open street, it's just rain, 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 rain. So anyway, we're going to try again this year, but perhaps later in the year, maybe June, or towards the end of May. So that's one thing definitely that I know that the collaboration that we'll be doing. The other part of it, I had submitted a budget projects for the budget needs request when it was requests were being solicited from the community, but I don't even know if it made it into the final budget request. But it was to create an artisan market in Hamilton Heights. Do you know, Marita, if that was
But I can't
included?
remember it at all. Go back on that again. You were
It
trying
was
to
for
get what?
it was for an artisan market with performances and potentially a green market
And where was the
in
area? You in
Hamilton.
what area? From where?
Amsterdam, Johnny Hartman, 143rd. The same place we used to pre-COVID that we used to have our events. And I sent it, but can you tell me where the final version of the budget request, where that is?
I don't really know. That's why I'm trying to figure out what you're telling me, because I don't really know.
Okay. All right. I'll write Barry about that. So
Yeah, see if
anyway,
Barry knows, yeah.
yeah. So the rest of the programming is primarily for street events, you know, trying to bring people back out because, you know, public events are very poorly attended, since the pandemic. And people are just getting comfortable with ordering in. And like a performance, we need, you know, people in the seats. The same with restaurants. We need people to come out and fill those seats in the restaurants. I would rather have patrons in the restaurants. But, you know, at some point this is going to blow up because I don't see how sustainable it is, you know, ordering a burger or something and paying for $50 for it by the time you add in the delivery fees and, you know, all those
And I'm sorry to
fees.
cut
Yeah.
you off,
Yeah.
but
So
we have been mandated to stop the meeting.
stop.
between
Yeah. And I'm
8:30 past
yeah,
8:30.
yeah, I got you. I got you. And I'm rambling. I'm going off.
And just so you know,
So
you and
yeah.
I've been very busy at all those small little restaurants, going to them.
I'm
And
glad.
not
I'm
just
glad to
going,
hear
eating
that.
there and sitting there, so they
Okay,
might
so
not
I'm
understand much.
yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
So
Second.
anyway, so that's
Yes.
basically
Motion to
it,
adjourn.
you know.
John Martin Green, and congratulations on your festival, the food stuff. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
the
I
food
saw it.
festival. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes, we've already done
It's
that.
already done.
We've already done
Oh, great.
that. I don't want Victor to get on me.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
You too, Josh.
I'll
Right.
get in touch with you, Josh, cause we gotta get it together.
So,